Okay, this is my first attempt at something like this. I hope you'll excuse the lack of professionalism. This bag rides in my kind of EDC bag that I keep with me. It's either in the car or up in my office. It rides in the outside pouch of it. Got two bags that I switch back and forth between. One's a Maxpedition Fat Boy and the other one's an OpMed bag. And periodically, if I don't have room for the large bag, I'll just pull this out and stick it underneath the seat to my car. And I started off with a micro organizer and figured out real fast that it took up a little less space, but I also didn't have near enough room. And starting off with the things that's on the keychain hanger, I've got a Fox whistle for signaling. Red LED lights save my night vision, map reading, stuff like that. P38, and then I've got some Uncle Bill's sliver grippers. And these things I've been using for a long time, and a lot of times I'll pass up going to my good tweezers here at the house and go get these. They will get things out that normally you can't get a hold of. They're really slick. Now I've got a fire starter in here with striker, separate striker. I'd kind of rather be using that than it would be the blade of my knife. And underneath it's about 12 foot of 550 cord. This is my Swiss Army knife. I've had it and the Leatherman tool since the 80s. At the time I bought this, it was the largest size that they had. I think they've got one just a little bit bigger now, has a set of pliers on it. But this one here, probably the two things I use most have been these scissors, this little screwdriver for tightening up eyeglass screws. For about 5 or 6 years I carried this and the Leatherman and a little Maglite solitaire in 2 pouches on my belt. Everybody always ribbed me about my Batman utility belt, but invariably about once or twice a day somebody'd ask to borrow one or the other for whatever reason. I've got a spare carry knife in case something happens to the one in my pocket. It's a CRKT. I really do like their brand. Surefire flashlight. This is a G2 model. It's one of the first ones of the good flashlights that I bought. And then, like I say, I've got the Leatherman tool, and this is the old original one that first came out. And I guess if I was going to carry one on me all the time, I'd probably go with the Leatherman Wave model, because I sure do like the fact that you can open up the blades and stuff from the outside without having to open the tool up itself. But this one's still got me out of a lot of pinches. In fact, underneath here, this wire is a galvanized wire. Last vacation we was on in Arkansas, my tailpipe started dragging all of a sudden, and the rubber hanger for it had broke, and I used a coat hanger wire to keep it up off the ground till I could get to the nearest town. Went in a hardware store, bought a 100-foot roll of this, and came back out, wrapped around there 4 or 5 times, clipped it off my Leatherman tool. While I was under there, I saw the other side, the hanger on it was broke about halfway into, fixing to turn loose, so I wrapped it also and was hoping that it would get me home there from Arkansas. Well, it got me back home, and my memory being what it is, I completely forgot about it until about 3 months later. Remember, I'd never got it permanently fixed, crawled underneath there. It's still sucked up as tight as could be, hadn't rusted, so it's pretty good stuff. Now this one I just stuck in there because I had room for it, and then too, it is kind of a handy little deal If I can get it going there, it's got a little bitty flashlight on there. And it's really a pretty neat setup. To get it to turn loose out of the holder, you've got to open up both sides, and that's actually gripping onto the holder itself. That's what holds the whole thing together. And it's got a pretty stout screwdriver on both sides, and the pliers themselves are a little bit different configuration from the Letterman, so I thought it might come in handy sometime. And like I say, it's very small and compact, and I figured it was worth sticking in there just in case. See if I can make that thing go back like it's supposed to. Now, besides the starter, I carry a Bic. Unfortunately, I still smoke, but I've always said if I ever quit smoking, I'm still going to carry a lighter in my pocket. I don't know how people make it that don't carry a lighter and a pocket knife. It just, you got to have it. I don't know if you're familiar with these. This is an Innova brand, and I thought it was a pretty slick setup. Got a clip on the back, so you can clip it onto your shirt or whatever, and of course the lantern stick on there. But as you twist it around, it's got dim, bright, and then a signal light, and that's SOS. And in that setting there, it's always been my intention, if I need to get to the hospital in a hurry, I'm going to use the clip on the back, stick it on my license plate, and I think I'm going to be able to get most people to pull over out of my way. It's really, really bright at night. And then that's just another style signal mirror, and then it's got just the red lights for night vision. It runs off a CR123 battery, just like my Surefire does. It's a little bit of a pain to get back in there, so we're just going to set it off the side. This pouch over here, I've got a signal mirror, compass, and off in here I've got two CR123 batteries, so I've got backup for my flashlight or my Innova, either one. And then back here now, can't take credit for this. I stole it from a guy on YouTube, but I thought it was a great idea. All this is an old phone card picked up somewhere, and any credit card to do, but that's Gorilla Tape wrapped around there. There's about 3 foot of Gorilla Tape wrapped up on there, and you can see it's just, I don't know, about 3/8 of an inch thick. I stuck it in this bag because I was afraid if something happened, things got wet, that Gorilla Tape might get a little bit gummy. But between 3 foot of Gorilla Tape, about, I think there's about 10 foot of the galvanized wire and about 15 foot of the 550 cord, there isn't very many things I can't patch up, get me going. But I really do like this Maxpedition bag. You know, they're built rock solid, and whenever they're in my go bag and all, I keep it turned back this way here to where I can just unzip it a little bit, grab this, jerk it out, and I'm gone. It's really, really a handy setup. Well, you know, they say you can learn a lot from a woman by looking in her purse, and this ain't nothing but a guy purse here, and so you've got to learn a little bit more about me today, and I hope you enjoyed it.